Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also, tuning in to our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. Well, I think this time of year, especially here in the South, a lot of us are looking to be able to do things around our home, be able to spruce things up. But because we have Earth Day coming up on Friday, April the 22nd, this may be just the time to be able to go green while upping your home's curb appeal and helping the environment while you do it. We've been looking for some tips on how to get started. We're excited to welcome someone very special to our program today. Home improvement expert Sara Bendrick is joining us today. You know her from some great programs like Build It Like Bendrick. We're going to talk to her about some great ideas just in time for Earth Day. Sara, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
So, Sara, as I mentioned, Earth Day is literally right around the corner, just a couple of days away. Can you share some ways that maybe our audience can be able to add to their curb appeal while also staying green?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the best things you can do is starting with maintenance, looking at what you have already, whether that's mowing your lawn regularly or upcycling things in your yard, cleaning up debris, maybe composting. You take all those leaves, you put them in a composter, and you put them back in the ground. You have free fertilizer, more or less. But when it comes to upcycling, especially with issues in the supply chain right now, looking at your yard for inspiration is not the worst idea. So I had an idea of actually using stumps, and let me describe it to you. It's basically if you cut a tree stump down maybe 18 inches or so, you hollow out the center, you can come out with a really cute little planter. And, of course, recycling pallets into planter beds. And then using twigs, we have this pyramid that we built out of crepe myrtles that have these really decorative branches, and we put that together so we can grow a vine on it. All those things came from the yard. They add curb appeal, and they really cost nothing. So those are great places to start.
I love that. And like you said, I mean, we're able to be able to do something that not only, of course, works, but also know that we're doing our part as well when it comes to helping the environment. You know, here in the South, I have plants. Sara, my family has a garden. Water is always, I think, one of those big things that comes up. Do you have any water-saving tips for our audience trying to perfect their curb appeal?
Yeah, absolutely. Saving water is important to everybody. It's good for the environment. It's good for our budgets if we don't overwater. And so there's a few things you can do if you're starting a new garden. You might consider looking at native plants or climate-appropriate plants. Those are plants that are used to growing in the similar environment that you're in, so they're not going to be as stressed and need as much water. If you need help finding which plants those might be, check out a local garden center. It's a great place to start. And then, of course, watering at the right time. That way all the water doesn't get evaporated. The morning is usually a great time depending on where you are. And then, of course, collecting water with rain barrels is a great option as well. Plants really love rainwater. And then smart irrigation. And that's using a timer that turns off when it's raining. It can kind of predict the weather so that you're not watering when you shouldn't be.
Oh, wow. Those are some really good tips. And those are some practical ones, especially for our radio audience. Sara, so I want to ask you just about general ways. How can our audience be able to lessen their environmental footprint if they're kind of thinking about Earth Day and beyond?
Absolutely. So when it comes to our yards, keeping what you have, but also maintaining what you have is important. So I'm a big fan of using battery-powered tools. I personally use Stihl's AK system, and that includes a lawnmower, there's a chainsaw, there's a blower, and there's trimmers that all use one battery that you can interchange. But the real benefit is that they're powerful. Really, battery is rivaling the performance of gas at this point. And with gas prices as they are, it's a benefit to be using battery because there's no gas included, so you don't have the smell or the mess of that. But also they're really quiet, which allows you to use your tools for extended hours and not bother your neighbors. They're also more lightweight, so you don't have as much fatigue if you're out there for a while, and then low maintenance just in general. So there's a lot of benefits from having battery tools for the environment as well as for yourself.
And I love, Sara, that a lot of these are things we can start doing now, really starting where we are and being able to expand from there. Before we let you go, any last-minute tips you'd like to share with our audience as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think the basic summing it up is be smart with your water. Try and use native plants, spruce up your garden. Consider battery-powered tools. And if you're really stuck, call a professional. And then if you want to see how I built those planters, check out DIYtipswithsara.com, and that's Sarah without an H.
All right. Again, everyone, Sara Bendrick has been our guest. We'll make sure that we link that website up, DIYtipswithsara.com, for our audience on our Facebook page, on the radio side, and also online, Sara. Sara, thank you so much for the time. Really do appreciate it.
Perfect. Thank you for having me. Bye now.
Okay, bye to you. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.